Farms. I'm Dawn, also known as Knittin' Wolf.
And I'm James, also known as Wolf Photo, and this is Fuji. She's hanging out with us today. This podcast is brought to you by Wolf Farms. You can find us on the internet at wolffarms.net. Our scent of the month for the month of August is coconut. So swing on by our shop. You can get anything in the coconut scent, fragrance, or otherwise for 25% off. Plus we have other sale items. And so swing on by. I'm sure you'll find something you can enjoy.
This week's segments include farm happenings, in the coop, flown the coop, to market, squeal like a pig, in the arena, what the duck, and roundup. But we're going to switch them up this week. So farm happenings will actually be at the end.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this podcast would not be happening.
I have a tough time getting through it. We've had a busy week, but let's I guess get into the coop and see what we got sitting in there. Here.
Did you say welcome to new viewers?
Oh, no, but, well, sorry about that. We want to welcome new viewers. Thanks for stopping by and checking us out. And also to returning viewers, thanks for coming back and seeing our latest update for the week. And we'll cut right into it.
In the coop.
We'll go into the coop and see what's going on project-wise with Dawn's knitting.
I got a baby.
Let me take Fuji because she's my buddy too.
Let's see. Not too much knitting this week. This is my Knitter's Nightmare. Dawn's something. Yep, it's mine. Dawn's. Knitter's Nightmare. I got that. Dawn's Morning Watermelon.
Fuji thinks Daddy's her watermelon. Do I taste good or something?
And I only did 3 stripes on this, so just a little bit.
Yeah, it's coming along.
Yeah.
We've had a busy week. You'll
hear
about
knitting.
Yeah, you'll hear about that and
that's on size later. 1s. And then my Summers of Scarrett Bennett shawl out of the Desert Vista Dye Works Summertide colorway on size, I don't remember, 4. And I did complete chart 1. So and the pattern has been updated. So that is all of chart 1. Because these rows are, you can see how bunched up, and this is like a 40-inch cable. It might be a 40 or 60, I can't remember.
No, it's 40.
Is it 40?
Yeah. 60 is 5 feet.
I have one.
I know, but that's not 5 feet.
Yeah. So I think that's about it. No further issues yet.
Oh.
I know Spun Too Tight was having issues with the gauge, so you know, you need to check that too to make sure you'll have enough yarn. Yeah. Then in my coop, this I barely did. This is the Bonnie Tin Can Knits pattern. Guess I'm not showing none of the patterns, am I? Yeah, well.
You slacker, you.
Misty Alpaca. And this is just round and round and round of knit. I thought this is never going to end. But yeah, I did maybe an inch.
Was that a cowl?
That's a sweater.
Oh, okay.
That's not even an inch.
Yeah, that's small thread.
Yeah, it's lace weight, so that's why.
Yeah, but you enjoy knitting, so.
Yeah, that's on size. What does it?
5s?
I don't know. These are knit picks, so it doesn't say. 4s probably. So, guess I could show the patterns real quick. They're in my PDF. I'm not ready.
Been one of those weeks.
It's at 3:30 morning today, so. Yeah, okay. Here's the Scarrett Bennett shawl. A close-up picture of it. And then the Bonnie. That's what. Woo. So, good thing that's a tank top in lace weight. because that would be forever. So then, flown the coop.
Flown the coop. Yeah, I don't have any. The last couple of weeks have been pretty hectic, and so I haven't worked much at all on anything knitting. So
No.
I don't have anything to share. Maybe I'll focus sometime this next week and at least get a couple teeth in my Martina Bim hitchhiker.
Flown the coop. If you're wanting a funny episode, this is not the one. I'm telling you that right now. I was gifted this pattern from Susan Claudino. It's Her Gnome is Where the Heart Is. Last week, and I had a day that I was really waiting this week, so I wanted something happy and fun, and so I went and grabbed some yarn, and Gnome Acres is having a gnome along, so I used some gnome acres, and I knit this little girly gnome.
That's cool.
And
I like the pigtails on it.
Yeah, the Gnome Acres is gnome place like home too, so it was like it all, and of course she's a redhead. Yep.
Yeah.
So, yep. I think I might put a
loop on the top.
loop on the top so I can hang it off of something.
That'd be cool.
He suggested I knit a whole bunch for a Christmas tree.
Yeah, you do a whole gnome Christmas tree.
I like her eyelashes. I like how her little eyelashes showed up. And I gotta say, this gnome is the first time I've knit with the yarn, and it's really, really soft. So I'm like, I'll have to figure out what
Turned out good.
Yeah.
I like the colors and stuff on that.
I have to figure out what to make with the rest of it, because that doesn't use that much. So, to market.
Well, we're just flying right along.
To market, Fishnets had a custom order spot, and I seen this last year, and I thought, oh, I must have this, because this is self-striping, 75% superwash, 20% nylon, 5% stellina, 438 yards in the Dawn colorway. And it is so pretty. Sparkly and just gorgeous colors.
And in the blue, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a blue summer.
She has a lot of Dawns in her family. So, had to have it. And she sends a whole pack of goodies. With her card and goodies. See, Jimmy hasn't found that yet.
Secret candy stash. Huh?
Yeah, she's got lots of awesome colorways and super nice tight twist, which I really like.
I like yarn with a tight twist too. Otherwise I skewer it.
Yeah.
Me, beginner knitter.
So that's the only thing I bought. Squeal like a pig. Squeal like a pig. Let's see. This came this week, and this was from Kathy. You might know her as Cat Loves Socks, but she changed her name to Cat Do Bug. Gotta have her explain that one. Because I can understand Cat Loves Socks. Cat Do Bug. I don't know. Does she like bugs? Kathy? So she sent me this bird leg bag. It's her
cool.
little
Sock
square cube. Yeah. And then where's the inside? Little polka dots. There's her. But this is, just look at the little, I just love that, how Vicky matches the
pole with the fabric, and the inside fabric always matches well with the outside.
This is just adorable. So, yep, I've got to, now I can use it. I was going to use it the other day, and I thought, oh, I can't yet.
Gotta hold off until...
Thank you so much, Kathy. That's cool. I want to toss it across the room, watch it roll to see if
it's like a
roll.
die.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. So, yeah, I'm weird. And then I was gifted 2 patterns this week. Lady, she sent, because she watched our last podcast and said, you had mentioned putting me in bubble wrap. So she found, it's called the Bubble Wrap Cowl. I am not on it today, am I? And this is Madeline Tosh pattern.
I'm having a rough time there.
I know I hit the wrong. So she thought this would help me out since it's comfy and styling. Yeah. So.
There you go. That's some more fashionable bubble wrap than what I was picturing.
And
that probably help protect you all the same.
Yeah, she's part of the Pins, Hook, and Needle podcast. So that was really sweet. It made me laugh. So thank you, Marlisha. And then Melissa, Meltran Designs, sent me her new pattern she released this week. It's called the Cursed Cable Mitts. And she has the Meltran's Design podcast. That reminds me of such a 80s pose, like strike a pose. Every time I look at it, I hear that Madonna, strike a pose.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, those are really nice looking. I don't know if I'd do them that long. I think I would do it shorter, but pretty cool looking pattern. How it twists the pattern, wraps around.
Arm. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
So that was, she was really excited and wanted to share that, and so that's pretty cool. So thank you, Melissa. And then I have another special, and Fuji does too. This came to Fuji and I from Angie Sundayz 920, who has the Sundayz's Perfect podcast. She sent this adorable card. And it was cute because when Fuji gets a package, she sits right with me and she's like nuzzling the tissue paper, and
she likes mail just as much as Dawn does. Dawn, you can't hold the package back when Dawn gets something in the mail.
Yeah.
And Fuji's is as excited too.
I know this is yours. I know. Angie made her this little dog bone, and on the ride home, which you'll understand in a little bit, she had it in between her paws the whole 2-hour ride home today, but I couldn't grab my camera but yeah, she really likes it, huh? She used it as a pillow. Thank you, Angie.
Good job.
And then in the same package for me was a little Lovebug. It doesn't want to unclasp its hands. And she did it in blue, since I'm into blue right now. And there's lots of love and prayers in this little guy.
Yeah, stitched up in there.
And I love the little button. Let's see if I can get really close. But she sent this so it could give me a hug or pray with me and watch. Well, I gotta find. See, I knew it wouldn't work on the podcast. There we go. She put magnets in its hands so it can pray or give me a hug.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So they're a little hairy today because they went on a trip. So that's.
Thank you for the kisses, Fridge.
And inside the letter is
Special.
touching. So maybe I'll just laugh so then I don't cry. So thank you, Angie. And I've already texted you. So in the arena, this is just me yapping all day.
I know. I don't have much to join in yet.
Let's take a drink time.
Yeah.
Let's all. Corey, take a sip.
Intermission. Ding, ding.
Intermission, yep. Okay.
Yeah.
In the arena, I wanted to mention again Heartland Knits, Vicki. She is having a felted mitten challenge, so you can go to her group in Ravelry and check that all out. I mentioned it last week. This is for the homeless shelter in her area to get mittens for the winter. And so go check that out because she has some really great prizes for that. Was also contacted by Melia Bella to mention her annual Boston Marathon that she's doing on September 8th, and it's the Boston Marathon Jimmy Fund Walk, and she's walking in memory of her teammate Tina's daughter Emma, who passed away last August at 7 years old, and she's required to raise a $300 minimum so she can
join in.
So I will link where you can donate, and I will also link her Ravelry group. She has the His and Her podcast Ravelry group, so you can see, because there's a lot of prizes that have been donated, and we've donated a $25 gift certificate, so there's lots of good prizes for you to...
Yeah, so go check that out and donate to help out for a good cause.
Yeah, because she just completed a 3-day 60 miles, so that's one tough cookie.
Yeah.
I would not do that. I'm not the camping.
No, you're not.
Unless it's motel.
I was going to say, you like camping in motels.
Our Summer of Stuffies is still going on, and see, I actually participated.
Yeah, look at that. Good job.
So, and that's till the end of August. And then the donations for that were bags from Absolute Wonder. I've been showing them. There's 2 different bags. Girlfriend's Knitting donating a stitch markers, and she also has a coupon code Summer 2013. Hey, I remember that, for 20% off for any orders over $5 in her shop. I did say Girlfriend's Knitting, right? Okay.
Yes, you did.
Carolyn, call Shirley. You gotta know her. Sheep Dreamery donates a skein for our Hatch and Knit that is going on. That's a monthly. Anything you knit, you can put in the thread. So
yeah, so you get to choose any one of her yarns there to as a prize if you are the winner. So
that's really cool of Kelly to do that for us. Yeah. So what the duck?
What the duck? Are we going into what the duck, or do we want to go?
Oh, what the duck is only, that's what's coming up.
Okay.
It's the soccer along, and that's in October, November, December, because they all end with ER, and it's going to be knitting socks, so soccer along. And we've had 2 prizes donated, or really more than 2 prizes, because it's 2 $25 gift certificates from Bird Lake Bags. Cat Bug has donated quite a few skeins of sock yarn and a project bag, and then of course we'll always donate.
So get your socks on.
Get your socks on.
Get your socks on. Join in the soccer along.
Yeah. So now, farm
happenings.
How far? I think I just breezed through that. That could be the quickest podcast ever.
Yeah. Well, we were.
So if you don't want to hear about what's going on, you can leave us now. If you were here only for the knitting, that was quick.
Well, like I said, we almost didn't podcast just because of our week, and so I know last podcast we had mentioned that we were waiting on some test result.
No.
Or we hadn't even.
No. Sunday we found a cat. Big old honking cat.
Oh, that's right, because you went in on Monday. Yeah,
In fact, it was Sunday evening I noticed Fuji's lymph nodes, so it was already after we recorded.
Oh, okay.
Her lymph nodes were swollen, about the size of, the little marbles. And I'm a panicky. I mean, no other symptoms. Playing, eating, drinking, fine.
Yeah, she did. Well, there was no indication that anything
I
was wrong.
figured she got bit by a flying ant because she's had allergic reactions before, and I thought it was due to that. And so Monday, got her up to the vet, and
they did.
The vet, said, "Oh, let's run some blood work." She goes, and pray that it's infection. And I'm like, okay, why would I, pray for infection? She goes, well, it's either that or lymphoma. But, I was like, what? I'm just hear, because I'm supposed to, she's just supposed to say, oh, she got bit by something, you know, allergy. I have lots of allergies. So we did a blood work, and I waited 45 minutes for that to come back. And they came out and got me, and they said her blood work's normal. Everything in her blood work was normal. Perfect. No elevations, no nothing. So they said, you know, the vet said it's lymphoma. She goes, I'm pretty sure it's lymphoma. We need to do a
biopsy on the lymph node there.
So they immediately, they said, you know, no waiting. We're doing it now. So they took her right then and there, and we picked her up, what, 4 hours later?
Yeah, you picked her up later, almost 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then it was
And then they told us, you know, it could be up to 10 days. Well, 2 days later, she called me, and she said it was, she didn't even have to say, I could just tell by her tone. And she said it was lymphoma, and to come pick up some prednisone and give her loving that she would last 3 to 6 weeks.
So then you started inquiring about...
I started like, what? You know,
what other options?
Isn't there chemo or any option? You know, give me something. She's 7 years old. Yeah,
she's young and healthy, and you know that's not the news that you want to get. And I know that Dawn has friends that have had dogs that have gone through chemotherapy because they've run into this similar thing, and so we knew that was an option that was out there, but the vet didn't offer that up as a you know, she really didn't give any hope to...
No, it was like...
And so that's when Dawn starts asking questions about, well, you know, what about the chemotherapy or something like that? You know, can we get a referral to a dog oncologist, someone that specializes in that?
We still have not gotten that phone call from this vet.
But she did mention...
She just, in passing, said, oh, yeah, there's one in Fountain Valley, but I'll have someone contact you tomorrow. Well, we still haven't heard anything from this vet. This is the same... I'm going to go on a tangent here. This is the same vet who didn't even x-ray her leg back in February to see what was wrong with it. She got chewed out from the head vet for being negligent. Not only that, when Fuji had the surgery and was all bandaged up and wrapped, this is the same vet that did not put gauze, and it tore her whole underside
they
up.
taped right to the skin, and she had
so
an
this
issue
was
with that,
strike 3 with this woman. You know, no compassion, you know. Just, oh yeah, she's gone in 3 weeks, 3 to 6 weeks. So I called my mom's vet, and this whole past week I have not slept. This is the first time I've been able to talk about this without being...
Well, it's...
Because I'm getting to that, the hope.
Yeah, you take the worst scenario in her head, and then it just eats away. You know, so I'm like, think positive, stay strong for her, and let's figure out what we need to do. And so you called.
So I called my mom's vet that she's had since forever, and he actually was in a room with a patient. He got, and I hadn't told him even yet who I was, but I had just said what I was inquiring about, and his assistant went and got him, and he came onto the phone and sat and talked to me for like half an hour about different places, different options, what I need to ask when I called this place. You know, he offered to do the care here that we can do, like the blood work, and, you know, so, I mean, he just...
And you were asking him, who he would recommend.
Who he would recommend.
Because there's a couple of them in our region. I guess that's the best way to. In our region, there's a couple that places that will administer a chemotherapy regimen for dogs.
Yeah.
And so, but he recommended the same place that was down in Fountain Valley. So you had gotten all the information from him in terms of that, and he highly recommended the head vet over there.
Yeah, so we got her in within a day. We only had to wait for Friday.
Yeah, we went in.
We went Saturday.
Saturday morning we went down for like a consultation. So we're bringing the biopsy results and the blood work that was done and everything. So, still not knowing for certain what, even what our options were going to be and the treatment and care, what that was possible and stuff like that. And so we had gone down there and we went and met up with the vet, and so he kind of checked him out.
He's an oncologist specialist.
Yeah.
And, he sat with us for a good 40 minutes at least.
Yeah, he did well, actually everybody from the time we got there was super nice. And
this is a huge hospital. I mean, it's like a people hospital, but they have all kinds of specialties. I mean, you name it.
This is not your ordinary neighborhood vet. This center specializes in special care for all sorts of animal diseases. Yeah. I mean, they have. It's a huge facility, and they said they're running out of space. They're in an industrial complex, and they've leased out every single space that's available to them, and they still don't have enough room.
See, I thought it was only the 15 things, but there's a whole
they have a whole nother. They have 4 buildings, I think, right now.
Yeah.
Because when we got there, the lady's like, oh, well, if you want, there's a vending machine that has foods and stuff. It's in another building. I can show you how to get there. I'm like, oh, you guys are that big? And she goes, yeah, because they specialize in all sorts of, specialty type animal care. And so. And
it's a 24/7. They're around the clock.
Yeah, they're.
Now they are 2 hours from us.
Well, that's a whole other thing, But so we'd gone down and we'd met with the doctor, and he did the whole check over and stuff, and very patient, very informative. That's the one big issue we have with the vet that we had originally seen with Fuji was they don't say much, they don't give you much hope. It's just hey, yeah, I know you don't like that vet, do you? But, he sat down and kind of discussed, the different things that they do and kind of how the whole thing works. And this is a published doctor who writes papers on chemotherapy for dogs and the different treatment options and stuff. But he ran through all of the, what's what with the chemotherapy, and if that doesn't work, they can go with the different options and I'm like, well, how much time will this buy her? He's like, well, if you don't treat it, it's probably like 6 to 8 weeks. That's something that that's without treatment, it's not a good outlook. He says, but with the chemotherapy, you're looking at an extra year or 2, and I said, well, what's the best scenario? And they said, well, they got one dog that's been diagnosed over 3 years ago and has been in remission, but has just come back with another bout of cancer, but that's still 3 years, and so. But he sat down, and he literally sat down. We sat down and was going over the paperwork. And he's kind of explaining how this works and the things that are they're cautious about and how they do it, and just total professional. The whole works. And so that was really kind of uplifting to sit down and get some hope that there's something that we can do for Fuji. You know, because she's Wonder Mommy, I know. But
and then that he had his assistant come in, and she went in. She sat down for a good long time and went over each of the medications.
Yeah, there's like a whole variety of drugs that they give in a particular sequence over time. And, you know, they kind of explained the cost involved and the time that's required to, and, you know, that sort of thing. And they wanted to know if we were okay with that. And, you know, we said, yeah, sure, you know, whatever it takes to, you know, to keep her with us. And so they go through, it's like a 25-week course of medicines, different ones that we go through, and he explains each different one. And you know, this type, you know, is an oral pill you give them, and this type is an IV, and this one they have to, because it could affect the heart, they actually put the dog on an EKG and actually monitor all of that during the whole thing. So, and then there's like some weeks that are off and some weeks that are on, but you know, he's at least gave us some hope that we can do something for Fuji, for lymphoma, that this is, he says, if you're going to get a cancer, if a dog's going to get a cancer, this is the one you want because it's the most treatable, has the most success rate in terms of the chemotherapy.
Now it's, you know, to clarify, this is not going to cure her.
Yeah. He was explaining it's like diabetes. You can't cure it. You can just, you know, manage it. And he says it will go in remission and it will come back. That's just part of, you know, what it is. He says, well, you do the 25 weeks, it'll be in remission, and then you monitor it like monthly with blood work and stuff like that. So from this point forward, we have to continue on, you know, running blood work and tests to see how she's doing. And if they have a reoccurrence, then we have to go back in and talk about, you know, maybe doing a second round or a different protocol of medicine and stuff. So, but at least we have some hope. And so Saturday we drove down there. This is a 2-hour trip down there, 2-hour trip back. So this is a 4-hour run. And one of the things that we were talking with is, you know, is it possible that our local vet could do, you know, any portion of this? And he said that he knows our vet, or he knows the vet we're going to be going to, and talked to him about it, and he could do it, but we're actually more comfortable going down there because they specialize in it. So it's
what they do every single day.
They're better equipped to deal with and what things to watch for and all of that. They're basically geared up for doing this type of treatment. And so, but we do have to do blood work every time we bring Fuji in. So normally how they work it is they'll have the dogs come in at 7 o'clock and they do a blood work and they send this out to the lab, and then you wait around for a couple hours for the lab to get results back, and then based on that then they will go through the treatment. So what we're going to end up doing, so we don't have to go down there and wait for 4 hours or maybe more for the blood work to come back, we're going to have the blood work done up here at this vet and have them send that down, and then we can just go down for the treatment. But it is a 4-hour round trip drive time, and barring any accidents, traffic's bad. But we can schedule this for Saturday morning, so the traffic's not too bad. It's not during like the week rush hour in LA traffic, which is pretty bad. So.
But yesterday they actually started her treatment.
Yeah.
So, you know, and they were really good because they gave her a Benadryl shot first. So they do a lot of preventative procedures and checks before they even touch them with the actual chemo. Mm-hmm. You know, and they watched her for half an hour before they even started it. You know, and then once they administered it, they waited and watched another half hour to make sure there's no immediate reactions or, you know. Yeah. I mean, they're just so in tune with what could happen, or
Well, you could tell one of the things that we were talking about after we met with the doctor there is that you can really tell that he's got a passion for animals.
Yeah, he's not in it for the money.
That every animal that comes to him means something to him. It's not like, oh, just another dog, and because some of the vets that we deal with, that's kind of how, like the one that was doing the biopsy in this, it's just like run them through, it's like, no, it's not the way it works. And you could tell he was really compassionate about it. And one of the things that he was even telling us is the easy part of a vet is doing the animal care. The hard part is actually trying to be compassionate with the owner. That you have to have that compassion and understanding with the owner, and be able to address them in that way, because we were kind of explaining the kind of the horror story we got from the vet that we had taken Fuji to. So, but yeah, he's definitely you could tell he cares very much about the dogs and their care and whatnot. So
yeah, and then today she had we went down again this morning, and
we got up in the wee hours of the morning today, and it's been a long day.
Long weekend.
Yeah, we got
because we were there all day yesterday.
Yeah, we went down. We left here at like 8 o'clock. We didn't get back till 4, and then this morning we had to come back to do the second, because the first start of the thing is two consecutive days they get chemotherapy treatment. So we had to get up in the morning, and I think you got up earlier than I did, and up at 4:30 I think is when I woke up, and we get ready, and we left by 6 to make a 2-hour drive down there and get all of the stuff done. And so it's.
But we wanted also to share this, because if I didn't have Maddie's mama, Lori, someone who's already gone through this, and it was so hard asking her questions, because I know it had to hurt. God, I'm really trying to do this podcast. But, if I hadn't known, that her, fur baby went through this, I wouldn't have known to even ask about it. And just, James did an Instagram picture last night, and someone commented that they didn't even know there was chemo
for dogs.
And she lost her dog 3 days ago. So, it's part of what we do, awareness on here, and
spreading the information out there, so that if you run into this either now or down in the future, that at least it's an option that you can consider. That's just it gives you some hope that you have some more time.
But I've been because I've been really losing it all week. I mean, like I said, this is the first time I've been able to speak. I mean, even on the phone trying to call the vets, they would have to wait for me to calm down. And, but I had, I mentioned Lori, Maddie's mama, Knitting Pipeline reached out, because her son's dog has the same thing. Courtney, Knit in Pearl Girl, she worked at an oncologist forever, so, they got bombarded with the questions, and, that's what's awesome with this community that we have, that
willing to share and give hope. I know that a lot of people have been encouraging. Dawn's been really down all week long, and until we actually sat down and talked with the vet.
Yeah, until yesterday.
And that's what I kept telling her. Let's go down and talk to the vet and find out what our options are and what we can, hope to achieve out of that, and how much more time we'll get with Fuji, and and after talking with him, I think it definitely it's something that's doable, that the rate of response from the animals is really high, particularly with this type of cancer that Fuji has, that you know, she'll do well, and hopefully we'll have her with us for a couple more years. We can keep hoping for longer, you know. There's you know, she's a strong fighter, and she's starting off healthy. We caught it early, so I'm hoping that all of those factors will play into having her be the, you know, the example that everyone wants to follow by, you know, because she'll outlive them all, you know. So, but what?
Because I'm really,
I know,
choking it back.
So, but yeah, they handed us a lot of information, you know, and, you know, giving us brochures on the chemotherapy and the different options that they have, and then they have the whole rundown on the schedule, because it's pretty, you know, okay, it's 1 week on, and then you get a week off, and then another week, and another week, and then you get a week off.
Well, you don't really get a week off.
Well,
That's
we just don't have to drive.
Home.
Yeah, we don't have to drive down there and whatnot. So,
but another thing is we're going to have to not be able to do cognitive retreat this year. So
yeah,
because it falls on one of her EKG.
One of her major
the major ones. So
treatments is on the same day as cognitive, and we can't be in two places at one time. And Fuji is by far more important than anything, you know, soap or otherwise. So, so we're gonna have to miss out on cognitive this year, just so we can make sure that she gets the treatments that she needs. And you know, it's 2 hours in the opposite direction, because cognitive's an hour that way, and we're going 2 hours in the other direction. And there's no way, even going down there, that we'd be able to do anything for that. So, so that's kind of unfortunate, because we've done it ever since cognitive started. But like I said, priorities are with Fuji and making sure that she gets the care she needs, so that she can.
I wish you guys could see this, because she's just snuggled up in my arms.
Yeah. You
know, these are not pets. They're not animals. You know, this is part of our. And yeah, I'm going to lose it again. This is our family. You know, 7 years ago.
It's your fur baby.
When I got, it's more than that. I know there's some of you that will know exactly what I mean when I say this is my heart sitting here. And I know I told Angie this week that it felt like my heart felt like a raisin that's shriveling up. And
yeah. Well, like I said, we've got a course of action now, and it seems very encouraging based on all of the information that they have. They're specialists. They deal with this all the time. There's even a dog there this morning that went through it. They said 2 years ago, and it's come back, and so they're battling it. But you know, the vet this dog's got anxiety when he's away from his owners, and so the vet actually is letting the owner sleep there with the dog in one of the rooms overnight while the dog's there getting treatment. You know, that's the kind of place that this is. So
yeah, they even have visiting hours, like a normal hospital, for, you know, if the dog is having to stay.
They even have a pharmacy. You go. Usually when you go to a vet, they just hand you. They actually have a pharmacy. You go over and they have all of the stuff that you need, which is, I thought that was kind of humorous. But
it's like, wow.
But yeah, so like I said, that's one of the reasons why we're going to take Fuji down there, to have her go through all of the medical treatment, and we'll work and partner with the vet up here to do the blood work and stuff. So, you know, it's going to be pretty ongoing thing, but like I said, it sounds like it's something that will definitely benefit Fuji, you know, and extend her life, hopefully for a lot longer than, you know, there really was no hope if we don't do this. So,
yeah. But so far, you know, with the 2 treatments, you know, like last night after her first treatment, she has a very special frog that she has relationships with. And it's, you know, she was playing with that, you know. She's also on prednisone, and oh my God, she's like someone
hungry
smoking weed, wanting food. You know, I mean, she paused at the pantry door when I didn't have it shut. She was like ripping the cat's bag,
trying to open up the cat food to.
Yeah, just.
She's got the munchies.
She's got the munchies. So.
Yeah, but. Like I said, she's not showing any effects from the medicine at all, which is a good thing. Dogs aren't like humans in how they respond. They seem to be less affected by the chemicals, the drugs that are used for the chemotherapy. There's a small percentage that may lose some hair, you know, but it's still small numbers, you know. So
well, they have to tell you all what could happen, just like. If any medications you take, you know, there's always a chance of some reaction. But so far, these two.
Yeah, and so she's good for a week, and then we start doing the oral pills next week, twice, and then we go back in another 2 weeks to go for another round of IV, and it'll go, like I said, off and on. We'll finish up in February to finish up the course. So that's, like I said, that is the Fuji update.
That is the farm happening.
Yeah, the farm happening. That's, like I said, that has been, since we had the biopsy done on Monday, it's been a rough week, you know. The waiting at first, and then the discouraging word from the
it's such a shock, too, when you're taking a dog perfectly healthy to the vet, and they say, "Oh, she's going to die in 6 weeks." It's like, no, she's not.
So, yeah.
So I've got my fighting mode on, you know.
Yeah, like I said, after we talked to the vet, Dawn's been more
180.
Yeah, we're going to fight this, and encouraged, and not as down. This is how she was up until we saw the vet all week. Then I know. You understand. She just, you know, with little hope given from the vet that we were going to, you know, that really just, as special as Fuji is, really drains on a person. And so yeah, this week was really rough for actually all of us. Just the thought of no option, and then going down, and then just like I said, there's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel there that, you know, that we can do something to, and it's not going to make her sicker than, you know, it's she'll have a healthy, you know, she won't be, I guess, affected by this. The chemotherapy will make her act like a normal dog, and, you know, unless the remission goes aside and we have to deal with it again. But even going through the chemotherapy, it's not supposed to affect her as much. You know, she should be maybe affected for a day or two after the medicine, and then she'll be kind of back to her normal self. Like Dawn was saying, she got her froggy, which is kind of a sign she's feeling more like herself, you know, which is really what we want. So
yeah, I think we both lost it when we saw her tootling that up to us last
we
night.
were laughing because that was a good sign, because it means that she's definitely feeling good. So,
and we've been asked, you know, how by some, you know, because they're wanting to help out, you know, and we are not ones ever to ask for like a donation for the podcast. You know, we do this for fun. You know, that's just, you know.
It's not us, but.
Yeah. So
what we thought we would do is we would put up, make up a little button, and so we made up little Fuji buttons that says "Fight Like a Girl," you know, and it's got the lime green cancer ribbon, which is for lymphomas. And we put that in our shop, and you choose the price you want to pay, you know, and we'll ship it to you for free, so that everything covered. So if you want to buy a button to show your support for Fuji and help cover, you know, the cost of gas and whatever, because you know, we're going to be driving back and forth for quite a bit, or the care, whatever. You know, you can go and go into the shop and buy one of those, or you could just buy Wolf Farm stuff. You know, and that helps income come in, and we can use that towards helping Fuji battle this cancer that she's got. So, like I said, we're not ones to ask for donations, but we thought, you know, I know people want to help. So if you feel inclined, you can do that, or if you want to buy some Wolf Farm product, then that also helps. But you know, it's your choice. There's an option there, and I thought that would be a good way to go. You know, show your support for Fuji with a little button, and then you kind of name your own price, or get some Wolf Farm products, and all that will help to cover the cost of the vet bills, because it's not cheap. So, but the main goal is, like I said, to get Fuji where we get her into remission, where she's you know, battling this as long as she can, and then, you know, the ongoing testing to make sure that we're keeping an eye on her, so she can stick around. And I just woke her up. Sorry, Fuji. She's had a long day too. She's not used to getting up that early either. But
well, and they say on treatment days that it makes them really
yeah.
sleepy. So
yeah, she'll be napping. I think we'll all be napping.
It's
been a stressful week, and early mornings and whatnot. So anyway, so that's, like I said, that's kind of the farm happenings roundup with Fuji, and
we'll keep you updated week to week.
We'll give you the latest as we move through this.
So it's going to be our big thing for the next 6 months is
Saturday trips down to Fountain Valley, which is 2 hours from us, back and forth, and you know, every so often we get a week off. So.
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry this isn't a humorous edition of Wolf Farms, but it is what it is, and you get a look.
Ups and our downs.
Yeah, you get a look at you know, usually we're the chipper, joking kind of people, but you know, when things affect us, you know, that's what we talk about. So anyways, we want to just thank you for all the support. We've gotten a outpouring of response from the people that follow you on Instagram, on my Instagram, on Ravelry, on Plurk, and text messages, and we just want to thank everybody for the encouraging words, the information that you've passed along that has helped us, you know what the options are, and just the prayers that you've been praying up for Fuji and for us, and we just want to thank you all for that, and just let you know how much that means to us, that you guys are thinking about us and worrying along with us about Fuji's care. So,
I guess I couldn't have made it through it without all you guys this week.
So, I guess we'll wrap things up.
No, wait a minute.
Oh.
We round up. We got a prize.
Oh.
Podiversary Price. You told me to hold off.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
So, our Podiversary Prize this week, I drew the number, and it is for some pattern magnets. And
pattern magnets there.
Some yarn cozies. I thought of putting this together. It just kind of went together.
Yeah, that kind of goes together.
Yeah, so, because last week was yarn, I thought this week could be, notions, and the next week will be yarn, and then something else the following week. I haven't quite decided. And the number that was drawn was number 16, and that was Knitting Mary B. So I'm going to just have the Ravelry burn you so you can get me your address so I can get this mailed off to you.
Right.
So
Well,
I hope you enjoy it, and thank you for the comments.
Yeah, thanks for giving us some comments about what you like about our podcast the first 2 years, and hanging in there with us. So I just want to also point out, like I always do, you can always get a free Wolf Farm video podcast button with any paid order at Wolf Farms, so you can ask for that in the comment section during checkout. We'll be happy to stick that in to your package and ship that along with you. So I think that about wraps it up. Me too. So until next time. Let's get cracking.
Is mine?
Yeah. She's out of it, so. And hatch a knit. Bye.